Hi guys, Aceface back with another video for you. I've got another Age of Sigmar battle report. We're going to have an exciting 2,000 point game between Skaven and Tzeentch Daemons. It's going to be pretty epic. Two awesome looking forces. They're going to absolutely smash together. We are playing Border Wars, so we've got 4 objectives and they're pretty central, so this is definitely going to be pretty messy. So without further ado, let's jump in and take a look at these armies. And this is 2,000 points of Tzeentch Daemons. Like, talk me through what you've got in your army.
Sure, so starting off for a leader, we have the Herald on Chariot. That is very useful because it unlocks the Burning Chariots as battle line. So I then have 5 individual Burning Chariots to fill up my battle line. Then we have a Lord of Change, a Lone Exalted Flamer, and the Changeling. Now those 9 units together allow me to have the Overseer's Fate Twisters Battalion, which is another 80 points, which I think is well worth it. Does lots of cool stuff. As long as there's 9 units on the board, I'm able to actually roll before I expend Destiny Dice, which is quite useful. At the beginning of a turn, I can replace a Destiny Dice, and I think I'm also allowed to roll for another one at the beginning of the turn as well, which is pretty cool. Rounding that off, we've got a Soul Grinder of Tzeentch, just to give me a bit more muscle, and then 2 squads of 10 Brimstone Horrors just to fill out the rest of the points. So that's pretty much it. The army's based around us trying to keep that Destiny Dice pool topped up, use that optimally. We've got a couple of traits and Warlord abilities. So my Warlord, the Chariot's got the Nexus of Fate, which at the beginning of my Warlord, beginning of my hero phase, lets me roll a dice. If it's a 1 or a 6, I can substitute that out with another dice in the Destiny Dice pool. And then both the Lord of Change and the Chariot, the Herald on Chariot, as their gift, have the aspect of Tzeentch, which means that I can do more cool stuff with those dice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Haven't played this before, looking forward to see how it goes.
And this is my 2,000 points of Skaven. It is a mixture of clans at the moment. We've not dedicated to a clan yet. Still need to buy a few models to be able to kind of come up with my end list. But I think this is going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be quite a fun list to play. We've gone for mass bodies this time rather than an elite army. So we'll see how this kind of features in an Age of Sigmar game. So I'll run through what I've got. So for my general, we have the Plague Furnace. With the priest on. He has the Warlord command trait of Lord of War, and he has the artifact of the Crown of Conquest, which will mean that basically what I use it for is that he can put Inspiring Presence on 2 units, which is really handy. Then for other heroes, we have these 2 fellas up here. I just wanted to bring in a few extra heroes. I've been rocking with 1 up till now, and actually I think that's a bit risky. So we've gone for Warlord Spinetail. He's really cheap. Doesn't do that much. He's got a decent save. He's not bad in combat, but he's ultimately a very cheap and cheerful general, and hopefully he'll do the business for me. And this guy next to him is a chieftain with banner, and he's actually really useful because what he does is he has a nice buffing ability where if he stands still in his movement phase, he can actually plant his banner and make sure that nothing within 13 inches of him needs to take a battle shock, which is really handy because I'm finding that Skaven do take a lot of damage from the battle shock phase. So then when we go into my battle line, I've got a lot of bodies. So we've got 1 small unit of 10 clan rats. All my clan rats have shields, which is quite tasty, and they have then a combination of different melee weapons. So I've got 1 unit of 10, and then I have 2 units of 30. So 1 over here, and then 1 over here as well. So yeah, excuse the fact that they're not fully based at the moment. This army is still making the transition from the old fantasy through to Age of Sigmar, but they are a work in progress. and I hope you agree that the miniatures themselves look really, really nice. It's an army that I've done a long time ago, but really, really chuffed with how they came out. So they're looking pretty cool. So we've got 2 units of 30 there. They've got full command. They've got a lot of instruments and banners in both units to make sure that they're going to move along pretty quick, which is handy. And as I said, they all have shields. Then we have in artillery, I have 3 artillery pieces. We have 2 of the warp lightning cannons, very, very effective, very, very dangerous weapon. We've got 2 of those. They are really, really heavy hitters, and will make the enemy definitely think about getting within range of them. When they stand still as well, they're fairly resilient as well, so a good solid unit. And then we've gone for a plague catapult as well. I found this is very, very hit and miss, can be devastating, but more often than not, if it does miss, it goes off with a bit of a damp squid, but there you go. So that's the plague catapult. I then have in the monsters, we have a lovely Hell Pit Abomination, or what we like to call Brad Pitt. He's become a bit of a star of this army, and he's an awesome unit. So far, he's done really, really well in all the games, so we'll have to wait and see. He gets bag loads of attacks. He is effective when he starts to get hit hard. He does start to reduce, but then he has the awesome ability to come back to life when he dies, which is an awesome rule as well. We then have, I'm trying to think, that's probably, no, of course, there's one last very, very key bit of this army, which is 2 20-man unit of the Plague Monks, and they are set up with the staffs and the blades. Again, lots of instruments in there to give them all their nasty abilities. Really, really good unit. Very, very fragile, but nothing, I'm convinced, hits as hard as them if they can manage to get into combat. So as you can see, a huge army. Should be great at getting on those objectives. It's pretty quick when it moves along. It hits very, very hard in melee. But we'll see. I think this Demons army is definitely going to put it through its paces. So, the armies deployed. Before we go into that though, guys, this is the Destiny Dice pool. So, if you're not aware of how this works, it's a little bit complicated, and it's kind of made even more complicated by the extra rules that this battalion has. But in a nutshell, basically what happens is Chris rolls 9 dice at the beginning of the game, and those dice he can use to change the results of his dice roll. So the way it works standardly is you choose what you want the dice roll to be using these. Now this is not for everything, it's not for game turns, but for most things that in the game. So to hit, to wound, that type of thing. So it's really, really effective. So normally you would choose beforehand. So if you're going into a crucial dice roll, you would choose to decide on what that dice was going to be, the result of it. Because of this battalion rule, while there are 9 of the chariots, or 9 of the units on the board, what he can actually do is roll the dice to see what he gets, and then after that decide to swap it out for one of his destiny dice. On top of that, when he loses one, he has 2 opportunities to roll a 6 because of his artifacts or his special rules from his characters, to be able to gain that back into the pool as well. So really, really handy little rules. On top of that, he has ways of actually getting extra ones at the beginning of the game. So his army, as sort of said at the beginning, is very much around trying to keep this pool absolutely filled up as much as possible. So you can see from the roll there, obviously 6s are very, very effective. He's got 3 6s. That's going to be very, very handy. He's got a couple of 5s in there, in fact 3 5s in there, and he's got a couple of 3s and a 2, so no 1s. So generally a really, really good roll, very, very above average. So an effective start for the Demons. So we finished deployment, and the Skaven across here. I've got some good cover saves with the terrain. We've massed across. We're obviously sitting on one of the objectives, and we're in touching distance of another 2. The Skaven are pretty quick. Chris did finish to deploy his Demons first, so he will get the opportunity to go first. I think he's going to take that opportunity. But yeah, we've pretty much quite symmetrical. We've got the 2 cannons either side. We've got the catapult very, very central with its good range. I've got the banner guy at the back, basically just to make sure that I don't get shot out first turn, because that would not be good. And old Brad Pitt is hanging over this side. He can be very, very quick if I roll high. So, and then we've got another unit of clan rats hanging around that side. As far as the demons go, we've got the big unit, a little amendment. So it was actually only one unit of big unit of 20 brimstone rather than 2 units of 10, but no big deal really there. And then we've got the chariots facing across. They will get an opportunity to get some shots in first turn. We've got the Lord of Change over here, and we've got the Exalted Flamer over on this side. And then the last thing to mention is we do have right over here, we have the pesky irritating changeling. And if you don't know what the changeling does, he just irritates you basically. He hangs around in my deployment zone. I can't see him until he decides to actually do anything aggressive. And basically he picks a unit, a unit within 9 inches. And he can stop that unit, well he can half that unit's movement, and that becomes really quite frustrating, as you will almost certainly see in the game to come. The only advantage I do have is if I'm within 3 inches, or if I have a hero within 3 inches of him in the hero phase, I can spot him if you like, and then obviously attack him and kill him. I did have that in mind when I picked my army, which is why I've got a few extra heroes in there to potentially chase him around. I don't think he's going to be too much of a pain, but he's over there and he's going to try and be an irritation. So straight away more shenanigans. So one of the dice, just due to abilities, what's the ability called?
Nexus of Fate.
Nexus of Fate. So if he rolls a 1 or a 6, he can change one of the dice. So he's changed it to another 6, obviously, because he rolled a 6. And then he has cast in his hero phase the Arcane Shield. Yeah, no, not it's Mystic Shield, isn't it?
Mystic Shield.
Mystic Shield, Arcane Bolt. Come on, you amateur. So he's done the Mystic Shield on the Soul Grinder. So he's got a nice, more reliable save. So yeah, this is going to be pretty brutal. So
and now,
right, so end of movement. Tzeentch have pretty much come up along that line. They're holding both the objectives. The Brimstones have just crept up, so they're just within range. Everything else is eyeing up shots on the Skaven army. So yeah, and Chris is about to let rip with his shooting. So we're going to start off with the Burning Chariot. He's going to shoot into the Warp Lightning Cannon. He's going to shoot into it.
So it's 4 to hit, 3 to wound. Ooh, it's not a great roll, is it?
So none of them being placed in, but not a great roll. Not a great roll at all.
3s.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So now he's going to talk about replacing that now.
Replace it with a 3.
So replace it with a 3 to make it a wound. So now I'm going to get a save. I'm in terrain. I get a 4 up normally, so I'm on a 3 up. Which we make, no damage done. So now the Exalted Flame is going to go into the same unit. Hitting on 4s. That's much better.
That is, yeah.
It's a hell of a lot better. Just the 1 miss. And now needing 3s to wound. Not as good, that's 3 misses. So I've got 2 saves now. 2 saves. Again, we're looking for 3s. Make them both. So after 2 pretty unsuccessful shots, now the Lord of Change is going to have a go. He gets 2d6 attacks. So he's going to roll up, see how many attacks he's got.
It's just 4.
That's pretty poor so far. So he's now looking for
3s.
So 3s to hit. So he misses 1, but gets 3 hits, and now 3s to wound.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. And what's the any rend or anything on this?
Standard.
No rend at all. So again, we're looking for 3s, and we make them both again. It's good rolling. So next up is the next Burning Chariot. Going to the same target. There's 2 misses. 4 hits. Now we're looking for 3s. That's not too bad. 50-50. So that's 2 more saves, needing 3s. Ooh, that's right, 2 wounds.
Now I get to use.
So after getting those 2 wounds through, it's D3 damage each. So Chris is going to change those results and make them into, as you can see here, 2 5s, which does finish off the first Warp Lightning Cannon. And because of the special rule, Disciple of Tzeentch, every time one of the Destiny dice is used, he does get 2 opportunities to try and get it back. So he gets, if on a roll of 6, he can get it back. So he's got 2 attempts here. No, it doesn't come back.
Second one.
And the second one,
one
comes back.
And then the third one.
And just a cock dice.
No.
No. Okay, so just 1 comes back.
Let's see what I put in.
And we'll see what it is.
Cheeky 4.
Cheeky 4. So not too bad there. Pretty good, pretty average roll. And that puts 1 extra one back in the pack. So now the next chariot is going to shoot into the catapult, needing 4s.
Eek.
Not a great roll again. And now looking for 3s.
Oof.
And not very good again. So pretty poor. Chris is just umming and ahhing whether he wants to use anything.
No.
He's not going to use anything. We're going to go on to the next shooting.
So this will be the Soul Grinder.
So he's going to take the Soul Grinder into the same unit.
So
the Soul Grinder
start off
here
with the Phlegm Bombardment, the Harvester Cannon, sorry. 16 inch range, just make sure, I'm sure it will be in range.
Yeah, he's pretty close, he must be in range, yeah, absolutely.
So that is D6 attacks.
So we're looking for D6 attacks. How's it going to be? So next up, the Soul Grinder is going to shoot into the Clan Rats. He's using his Harvester Cannon. He gets D6 shots.
Just it.
6 shots, not too bad.
Not too bad at all. So that's 4 to hit, 3 to wound.
And that's pretty poor shooting. It's just the 1 single wound. And then 3s to wound, nothing at all. Chris is not rolling well, so he did very well with his Destiny dice, but actually everything else is going a bit peat-on.
So we'll do the Phlegm Bombardment on Chariot now.
Onto the catapult.
The catapult, sorry.
So you're going into the catapult now.
Hit and 1 3 to wound.
Okay.
To hit.
Hits, and then we 3 to wound.
I'm going to replace that for sure.
So he's now going to use another one of his Destiny dice.
Change it into a 3.
He needs a 3.
Boop.
So that now hits.
And it's -2 damage and it's -2 rend and does 3 damage.
Okay, so that will just be because I have a 4-up, because I just get a 6 up. So let's see whether we can get it. Let's see that Aceface symbol. Oh, we almost saw it there, guys. So he loses 3 wounds. So Disciple of Tzeentch is back in effect.
Whee.
And he gets the dice back. What's the dice going to be?
3.
It's a 3. So not too bad. He's managed to recycle the dice pretty well. Dice rolling is a bit average though, so we'll see what happens. If this luck turns, it could be very nasty. So we're going to go on to the next unit.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go into the first chariot here, targeting the catapult again. Some poor shooting once again, so that is just the 2 hits. Chris is looking at his dice.
That into a 4.
Okay, so he's going to take a dice out for that, making it 3 hits. So not too bad.
4 hits, sorry.
Making it 4 hits, sorry.
So, yeah, so that's 4
making
hits.
It 4 hits.
Now it's going to be 3s to wound.
Now we're looking for 3s.
They're all wounds.
They're all wounds, so that's not too bad going. So now we'll try and save them. We're looking for... And then, so we're now looking for 4s. And he is dead.
Yeah.
And now we'll see whether again we can recycle.
Nope.
And we don't recycle, so that's 1 dice down. And so last up we have the chariot shooting into the untouched cannon. So again needing 4s to hit. Not too bad, just 2 misses.
I will...
He really wants
he
really wants this cannon to go down. He's got 4 hits now. He's umming and ahhing, he's looking at his dice.
One of them to a 5.
Okay, so he's going to take 1 more dice out to make it 5 hits. And now we're looking for 3s to wound. Okay, and that was 2 misses. Again, he's considering to change.
So 4 wounds for you.
4 wounds. So you are going to change one of them for 4 wounds, yeah?
Yeah.
So he's changing it for 4 wounds. He's going to use another one. He is just now down to his 4 6s. He's going to hope for some recycled ones now. And now we'll see. We've got 4 saves here, guys. We're on 3s. We're in terrain. Nice healthy roll. Will be tasty here. And that's bad news because that should probably kill him, to be fair, because that will be enough to, if he decides to, he's got his D3. from each of these, which if he rolls hot, he'll be alright. He can roll it first because of his roll.
Which I've been forgetting to do, which is a bit silly. So that would be enough to finish it.
And yeah, because that is already, so it's 3 from the 5, 3 from the 6, and then 1 from there. He has 6 wounds, so that is enough to take him out, barely. And again, we're going to see whether we can recycle some of those dice back.
One does.
One does. He's doing well with that. What is it?
A 2.
2, so not so good there. But now we use the second one.
It also does.
He also recycles it back. And what's this going to be?
Another 2.
Another 2. So not so good really, to be fair. He's only managed to get like 2 2s for his Destiny dice, which is pretty shocking really. I mean, 2s generally ain't going to do very much good for him. Generally most of his hits and wound rolls are 4s. And when he's trying to take D3 off me again, that's only going to be 1. So I can deal with that. That's not too bad. And with that, that will be the end of the turn. There's nothing more to do. There's going to be no assaults. So basically, all my artillery pieces have gone down, which was Chris's plan. He wanted to see off all my ranged attacks. Obviously, the warp lightning cannons are very, very nasty. What he has left is he's left himself very, very open now for a massive, full-on onslaught. We've got a lot of rats that actually won't even really need too bad charge ranges. We're going to move up. We move pretty quick. We'll be in touching range. So this could be quite brutal for Chris. He knows he's staring down the barrel now of a lot of angry rats. So we'll go into the Skaven turn 1. Okay guys, so the movements happen for the Skaven. We have no shooting, so all it is a case of we just want to now... Chris has given me the option to come at him, so we've come forward as far as we possibly can to the middle of the board. I've done Aspiring Presence on the 2 units of Plague Monks. I failed to get off my blessing on the Priest, and the old Brad Pitt, he moved... I mean, he moved 7, didn't he? Yeah, he moved a solid 7 inches, so not too bad. So the only other real things is he decided to slow down the Plague Furnace, which is always standard with the Changeling. So the furnace could only move 5 inches, which slowed that down quite a lot. And then I moved towards him with Spine Tail, and the Chieftain stayed put to give Aspiring Presence to the big unit there. That's all he could really do because he's had to stay still, and because I had to stay out of range of his shooting first turn. So now we've got some all-important rolls. We've kind of done a lot of pre-measuring to save sort of any sort of argument as we kind of go in for the charge. Got some key charges to do. So we'll start off with the longest charge, which will be the Plague Furnace. So I need a double 6 to get the Plague Furnace anywhere near anything. And I don't get it. So that's the Plague Furnace out of the way. Then we need a 10 for the Plague Monks.
Yeah, we said 10 to that, but I just thought if you get something lesser, you can probably go for the Brimstones.
So yeah, so these Plague Monks here are going to try and charge potentially along here. Probably a 9-inch might get me into the Brimstones. Otherwise a 10-inch will definitely get me into the Chariots, which is where I really want to get. I was really hoping for some sort of reroll, but I could not find it in there, guys. So if I've missed it, let me know. But 10-inch would be lovely.
Like a reroll, eh?
Well, you get all. You're getting all the rerolls. I want some bloody rerolls. So nice big roll here, and no. So no, they're not going anywhere, guys. So that's the ones that we're always going to be a bit touch and go. And now we're going to go into the rolls that are probably more likely to hopefully work. So we've got the big unit of Clan Rats. I'm only going to need a 6-inch, but with a nice big roll we can really cause some damage. And I only get 4 inches. This is bad news, guys. This is not good. And then we're going to need a 7-inch with the other clan unit. And we do get in with those, so we'll work out where we want to go, and then we'll actually do Brad Pitt as well at the end, just to save time for you guys. And again, we need is 6 inches for Brad Pitt, and he easily gets in. So we'll see what damage we can do. No more charges, so we'll have to wait and see now. Not great. We really need that Clan Rat unit in, but we'll have to see what damage we can do. So this is where we stand. So the Clan Rats are piled in. They are looking at potential targets of both the Chariots as well as the Soul Grinder, and we have Brad, who's looking at hopefully taking out both of those 2 chariots. That's the target. We need to try and do it, to try and bring this back, especially with those failed charges. We really need to definitely manage to dispatch those 2, and then we really need that secondary turn to see if we can kind of build the momentum. Second turn will absolutely swing it totally back my way, but if Chris wins that roll and I don't manage to cause enough damage here, it could be bad news for the rats. So we'll now go into the assault phase. I'm going to start off with Brad Pitt. I'm going to start off with, we'll go with Avalanche of Flesh first of all. So Avalanche of Flesh is D6. So we'll have D6, just the 2. So not the greatest start. Avalanche of Flesh needs a 2 to hit. So that's 2 hits. And it needs 3 to wound. And we get 1. So it's just a standard save.
5 up.
5 up over here. No, so 1 wound down to start off with. So we'll go in for the furthest one away, please, from Brad Pitt. And then we'll go into the second attack. So we're going to use the Flailing Fists, and we're going to use Flailing Fists into the same guy. So Flailing Fists is, we are on 6 attacks. And so 6 attacks, and we're looking for 4s to hit this time. Okay, so that's pretty good. It's above average. And now we're looking for 3s to wound. And only 2, so not so good there. It is -1 rend. So Chris has got an option. He's going to try and use both of his dice. So he's going to use both of his dice to stop that and to save that roll. So that is pretty crucial. He'll now see if he can get them back, which he doesn't with the first one, and the second one he doesn't with the third. So he's lost now 2 of his fate dice. And then because obviously we've not managed to kill 1 with the first, we'll go into his last attack, which is the Gnashing Teeth, which we have 6 attacks, and we are needing 3s, so we're needing 3s to hit, and about average, 2 misses, and then we're needing 4s to wound, and these ones will really hurt if I get some through. And only get the 1 through, which is pretty brutal. So he can't do anything about it. He's going to take 2 wounds, but that's actually not too bad for Chris. He's actually got off pretty lightly there. He's done pretty well. So now he will get an opportunity to strike back. He's going to choose the Soul Grinder because he's not stupid. And he's going and he's going to now go and hit back. Okay, so now the Soul Grinder is going to attack into the Clan Rats.
So 6 attacks with my piston-driven legs, needing 4 to hit, 3 to wound.
So not great.
3s.
3s to wound.
A wound. It's rend -1 at 1 damage.
1 damage. So I get a 6 up. So let's see whether we can make some saves. We don't, so 3 go down. So next up,
onto the Warp Metal Blade, which is 2 attacks, 4 to hit, 3 to wound. 2 hits.
Both hits, nice.
That's AC. So it's rend -2 and 3 damage, so that's 6 dead.
That's pretty good. So that's 6 down. So that is 6, 7, 8, 9 so far.
And
on to the next.
Then it is the Warp. Sorry, that was the Warp Metal Blade. Now we're doing the Hellforged Claw. You want to put on Hellforged Claw with 1 attack, 4 to hit, 3 to wound. It's not a hit, but...
So I'm an R in here to see whether he wants to do anything more. He's run out of his... He's using
I'm actually
quite a lot.
I'm actually... No, I'm not.
He's not going to do anything. So no damage done there. And that's
just
it.
That's it for him.
So 9 Clan Rats down.
So
So now we have the clan rats hitting back. The clan rats are not going to go into the soul grinder. They are going to go into the chariots. Chariots have a lot worse save. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 10 attacks that are within the range. I'm looking for 4s. And that's diabolical, guys. That is absolutely diabolical. That is only 5.
Exactly average.
5. So actually it's not diabolical at all. It's an average. It looked worse.
The world is against you, isn't it?
The world is always against me. If I'm losing, the world's against me. Right, and I need 4s again. Right, come on, the world is against me. There we go. So none at all. So that is it, and then we'll go into the battle shock. Oh no, he won't actually. No, he will get to attack back now. So he's going to have to decide whether he wants to put his attacks into Brad Pitt or whether he wants to try and fin some more of the herd. So now the chariots are going to probably split some of their attacks. So they're going to start off with trying to potentially put a bit of work into Brad. In fact, you might as well do the one that's only going to be able to hit Brad. So you might as well do the first one over that side.
Yeah.
To start off with them because they'll all be into him.
So I'm going to do... Oh right, yeah.
Because you're not going to be in range of the other guys. So
we'll start with the Flaming Maw, which is 4 attacks, needing 5 to hit and 3 to wound.
You 4s?
5s actually.
You 5s, so nothing at all.
Then we'll do the Blue Horror Jabs, which is 3 attacks, 5s and 5s.
It's not bad. And then 3s, is it?
5s again, so nothing
5s again, so nothing at all.
Now the Lampy Bites, which is what we all came to enjoy and see. 4s to hit, 6 attacks, 4s to hit, 3 to wound.
Okay.
Fair. Only 1 wound there.
Just one. Just one. He's umming and ahhing. He's umming and ahhing again, whether he's going to use those Destiny dice. He's not. He's going to go with just the one. And what is it? Damage.
So it will do D3 damage, but
it has no end. So 5 up from Brad. No.
So this is where I might think about making it. Well, we'll roll first and see what we get.
Just the one.
I'm going to change that to 6 D3 damage.
For a 6. So he's now just down to 1/6 now, guys. So he has seriously taken out a lot. He will get a chance to roll this back in a second, but he's going to take that now too. What's this now?
It's just to see if I get any back.
Oh, so he doesn't get any back. So okay, so that 6 is gone, but Brad does take 3 wounds. Okay, so now guys, the second chariot is also going to put his attacks potentially into Brad as well. So he's going to start off with the...
6 Screamers Lampy Bites onto Brad, 4s to hit, 3s to wound. Ooh.
Pretty bad, pretty bad.
Just
the one hit. Not so good. Not so good.
3s to wound.
3s to wounds. Just the 2. You don't have any 3s there, mate, do you? There are only 2s. So you've got to sacrifice your 6 if you want that to do anything. So nothing at all from that. What's next up?
Now we're going to do the rest onto the rats, just to try and get a few more lucky kills.
Okay.
So 3 attacks with the Blue Horror Jabs, which is 5s and 5s. So it's 2 hits there, and no wounds.
Okay.
And then it's a Flaming Maw, which is 4 attacks, and 5s and 3s. Which is a bit better than last time. Need 3s, so that's 1 wound.
1 wound.
2 your rats.
And what's that? Is it minus 5 up?
Just plain.
Just plain.
Eee.
Makes a save. Rat causes no harm. So we're now doing the battle shock for the rats. So basically 2 are dead straight away. So see how many extra die. So 5 extra rats die, and that is the end of the turn. So end of the turn, and it's an absolute massive smash in the centre of this board. Absolutely brutal stuff. So we're now going to have to see what happens. This is really, really crucial. We'll see if I get the next turn. It will probably be all over. If Chris gets it next, it probably will be the other way as well, because he will cause some awesome amount of damage to me as well. So this roll will probably see the end of the game, but we'll have to wait and see. So we're going to roll a dice off now to see who gets the choice of the next turn. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Here we go.
Not in your box, despite you.
No, you got to do it in the box. Otherwise, it doesn't count. That's the rules. That's the rules. Let's go.
There you go.
And that, my friends, is all she wrote. So, end of movement for the Skaven, and we have come charging up now. We are absolutely, everything is in touching distance. The lines are about to clash horrendously, so everything is in very, very good charge range. We look now to really put the hammer down and see whether we can wipe out a large section of this army. Chris has exhausted most of his destiny dice now, so he'll be struggling now to make those lucky escapes from what is about to come crashing in. So we'll now go into the charges. I'll roll them off camera, but we'll come back to you after these clashes have happened. So end of charges, everything has absolutely smashed straight in, all across the line, everything's in, even up to this far corner here where the rats have still made it into the chariot there. So we're going to start off, before I kind of pick what I'm going to start with, beginning of the combat phase, the Plague Furnace is going to pick a spot within 3 inches of it and let the Great Censer loose. So I've gone for the right at the back of those 2 chariots. It will hit 2 of my Plague Monks, 1 from each unit. So first of all, let's roll to see whether on a 4+ they get caught by it. So I'm going to do 1 for the first unit of, so the first first chariot. No, doesn't get damaged. And second chariot does get damaged, and that does D6 mortal wounds. Only 1 wound, only 1 mortal wound down for that. And then we'll go into the Plague Monks. First unit.
Boom!
Boom, and how many does that do?
Oh!
4 Plague Monks go down. And then into the second unit.
Boom!
And then how many Plague Monks go down?
Oh!
5. So that's pretty brutal. So I'm going to start off this assault. So the big thing with Age of Sigmar is you need to work out what is your best course of action to try and make sure that you mitigate when they counterattack you back. So obviously I've got lots of options here. Pretty much everything is in assault. So the big ones to always think about in Age of Sigmar are the units that take damage that start to lose their impact. So I've got 2 of those in my army. One is Brad Pitt. Because he has healed a wound through his regeneration, he's actually still at his full strength. So all his attacks are still really, really nasty. And obviously I got quite unlucky last term. The Plague Furnace also starts to lose some of its sting when it starts to lose wounds. Everything else will be as it is. The Plague Monks, I know that Chris will try and take out. The Plague Monks will obviously cause him probably the biggest amount of damage. They will wipe through quite a lot, so he'll probably try and take out some Plague Monks, but then the Plague Furnace itself will cause damage as well. So he's got some real difficult decisions to make. I think I'm going to kick things off with Brad. I think if I can take down 2 of those chariots, which potentially I should do, with 1 being down to 3 wounds left, that's going to be the best start for me. That will take out 2 units from hitting him back, which means that he will be at full strength next turn. I think that sounds like the best option. Other than that, it would be the Plague Monks to go next, but I don't know. It's a difficult one, guys. I think we're going to go with Brad Pitt. So after a bit of thought, I'm going to start off with Brad. He's got the opportunity of taking out 2 units. I think that's the way to go. So we're going to start off with that. Let's start off with his Avalanche of Flesh. He has D6 attacks. 4 attacks. That's not a bad start. So we'll start off with the 4 attacks. And he is needing 2s to hit. So we need 2s to hit. So we get 3. Not bad. And then we need 3s to wound. And we get all 3. This doesn't have a rend, and it only causes 1 damage. So Chris is looking for a 5-up.
So yeah.
And he loses 2 wounds. So that puts him down to 1 wound. Which is slightly annoying, because that does mean I'm going to need to now use one of his other attacks to try and take him out. So we will use Flailing Fists, and that, not no, sorry. So Flailing Fists we're now going to go with, and that is 6 attacks. And I'm needing, on the same guy, we need to try and kill him off. So we are needing 4s. That's a really good roll. That's just what we need. And then we're needing 3s. And bear in mind these are 3 damage. So really this should be enough. And absolutely. So it was 3s. So we've got...
I guess I roll 3 6s.
3 6s.
Or 2 6s would do it.
2 6s. Well, you've got your thing as well, haven't you?
No.
No, so he is definitely gone. So we have taken out the first chariot, and now we have the second chariot that we're now going to put the last attacks onto. So this is another 6 attacks because he's at full health.
And now I've actually lost one of my 9 units from the Oracle's Fate Twisters. I can't pre-roll before deciding to use Destiny.
It's big, it's big.
This is
it's
not
big.
Very nice for me.
So here we go. So the next one, we have 6 attacks again, and we need, this is Gnashing Teeth, we need 3s followed by 4s. So 3s to start off with. Again, we're rolling hot. Brad Pitt's angry, he's not happy. And now we need 4s. And not so good, only 2, but this is rend -2 and damage 2. So that will be, if he doesn't use his Destiny dice, he only has 1 6 there to use.
He's not going to die.
He's not going to die. So you don't get any saves against this, so this will just be 4 wounds.
No
this
saves?
is -2 rend.
Okay, I'll take it.
So he's just going to go down to 2 wounds. 2 wounds or 1 wound?
It'll be 2 wounds left.
He's got 2 wounds left. So not bad going by Brad. He's caused a lot of damage, but he does still have some wounds left. And now it will be over to Chris to decide what he wants to strike back with. So again, with the real tactical edge of this game comes, Chris has to decide. He's decided he's going to hit into these clan rats. There's more likely these guys will potentially take off the last 2 wounds of this chariot, or start to put some hurt on the Soul Grinder. It's important for the Soul Grinder to go now because he needs to make sure that he hits before he's damaged. So that's a smart move by Chris. He now needs to see what damage he can do to these clan rats. He's going to hurt them pretty hard, but we'll see.
Right, 6 attacks with piston driven legs, 4s to hit, 3s to wounds. This is where we stuck to it last time, but that isn't bad. Well, it's average. And 3s. Just 1, unfortunately, and it's -1 rend.
Okay, and so what damage is it?
Just 1 damage.
Just 1 damage. So I have a 6 up, which I don't make, 1 dice.
Okay. Now I've got the Warp Metal Blade, which is 2 attacks. 4s to hit, 3s to wound. That's nothing, which is not good.
Oh, so he's not doing well at all. Moves
now we've got the Claw.
Come on, Claw.
4s to hit, 3s to wound. It's a hit.
Does get the hit, and this does do damage.
3s to wound.
Does
now,
wound.
I can do D6 damage and choose the 6.
6 ratty boys could go down, but that is the last of his 6, so he starts to lose a little bit of his thing. He's going to do it. He needs to kill some of them rats, so he's going to take 6 rats down. So now he's going to see whether he can get that back.
No.
And he doesn't. So he does lost his last 6. So he just has 2 2s left in his pool. It's looking pretty grim, but he has managed to take down enough clan rats to make it even more painful when I do take that battle shock test. But now we'll see what we decide to do as we strike back. Right, so I've decided that I'm going to go with the Plague Monks next. I'm potentially going to take out this chariot, and I'm going to take out probably the majority of this unit. So I'm going to start off with the guys that I'm going to allocate to the Brimstones. That's pretty good. We need 4s to hit, and let's re-roll the 1s. There's another one. There's 2 more misses there. 1 more conversion, and we'll take out the 2s and 3s. And it's looking pretty brutal. Not bad. Okay, and then we're now looking for 4s, but any 6 is -1 rend. Looking for 4s. That's pretty bad though, to be fair.
Pretty bad.
So there's one, well, you say they don't get saves anyway, so that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that only 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, only 6 die. So that's pretty good going for Chris. And then we have the staffs, just 1 attack each. Rubbish again. Just the 3 hits, and these are 5s to wound. Just 1 more dies. And then we'll go into the second unit. Needing 4s, rerolling 1s.
Rerolling 1s.
Yeah, it's pretty bad rolling to start off with, but thankfully quite a lot of 1s. Converts a few more of those. We've got 1 more in there, converts that as well. So not bad going. And again, 6s and -1 rend. Okay, so that's nice. So that's 3 -1 rends. And then that's looking pretty good. That's not too bad. So we've got 5 normal saves and then 3 at -1 rend. So can we take him out?
That's only 1 save, which is not good.
So that's 4 wounds down so far. And then you got your rends.
So I need to make 2 6s here. No, so
Do not
just
make,
enough to
so just enough to take him out without me using the staffs. So the Plague Monks have done what they do best, and they have taken a massive chunk out of these brimstones, and they've killed one of the chariots. So now it'll be Chris's chance again to see what he can do in return. So we're coming right across to the board to this side. So the chariot is going to attack the clan rats. So going in with the chariot.
Flaming Maw, 5 hit, 3 to wound. 1 hit.
Good stuff.
1 wound.
1 wound. Do I get anything from it?
No, just normal 1 damage.
So 5 up save. Nope,
that.
1 dice. Down to 9.
3 attacks, 5s and 5s. That's 1.
1 again. Cocked. Go on, run that one. Cocked. Go with cocked.
Nope.
Nope.
And then 6 attacks, 4s and 3s. So we want to have a good roll. It's not a good roll.
Not a good roll. Just the 1.
Just
Nothing
1 wound done.
at all.
Wasn't really worth that.
No, pretty brutal, and now it goes back to me. Right, so we're now going to swing back to the Skaven, and my large unit of clan rats that's wrapping across to the Soul Grinder and to this chariot is going to strike now. I'm going to try and take out that chariot on 5 wounds and start to potentially put some damage on the Soul Grinder. So, what is it, 8? How many did I say?
11.
11, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we're needing 4s and 4s on the chariot. So let's start off with things. Okay, that looks probably just above average, I'm going to go with. Let's take that one out. And now we're needing 4s again. 3, again, pretty much average. So 3 saves on the chariot.
2 wounds.
2 wounds down. So not bad result for Chris. We'll go on to the Soul Grinder. Okay, so now the clan rats are going to try and see if we can strip down some of the hull points, wounds of the Soul Grinder. So again, needing 4s, followed by 4s. And not as good there. That only looks like that's 5. Yeah, 5 wounds.
That's 3 ups for me.
3 ups because he still has his Mystic Shield. He's only always going to cocked for that. So he lost 2 wounds. And then we'll swing back to the Tzeentch Demons, see what they want to strike with. Next up, the chariot is going to attack the clan rats that just struck at it.
These. Freeze.
Go for it. So what we've got first?
Flaming Maw, 4 attacks, needing 5s and 3s. Just 1.
Just 1, and then freeze.
1 wound.
1 wound. 5 up. Nope, 1 dice.
And then it's the jabs, which is 5s and 5s. Nothing.
Nothing.
And then the 6 attacks at 4 and then 3.
This is the one that causes the damage. Not so good. 3.
2 wounds.
2 wounds, okay, and I don't get anything against this. No, it's still only.
Yeah, it's still normal.
So we're looking for 5s. No, and this is D3 each.
No, just normal.
Just normal, okay. So that's another 2 goes down. There's 3 clan rats bite the dust from that combat. Right, so back to the Skaven, and this unit of clan rats is going to go into the chariot here. So now we have 12 attacks going on to the chariot and needing 4s. That looks like a good roll. That's a cocked dice, which is converted. Let's get rid of those misses. Just above average, I think. That's another miss in there. And then we're needing 4s again. And back down to earth with bangs. Just the 1 wound there on the chariot.
Saved.
Which he saves. So now up is the Exalted Flamer. He's going to try and hit into the small unit of clan rats.
So 4 attacks, 5 to hit, 3 to wound. Nothing.
Not a great start. Is that it?
Yep.
Strong combat skills by that guy. Okay, so now the clan rats far down the other side are going to strike back. They're going to split their attacks. So we're going to do 4 attacks into the Exalted Flamer. Needing 4s, followed by a 4. Don't get anything at all. So he whiffed there, and I have 5 attacks now going into the chariot. Needing 4s, getting the 1, and then do get a wound. So 1 more wound on the chariot, which fails to save. So it goes down another wound. So the last attack from the Demons side of things will be this chariot here. He's got the option of taking out some more of the clan rats or potentially go into Brad. So
the clan rats will be doing the 4 attacks, 5 to hit, 3 to wound.
So I'm going to go into the clan rats.
2 hits.
Okay.
And 3s. 2 wounds.
5 ups.
1 dead.
1 dead.
And then I'll be doing the 3 attacks, which is 5s and 5s. 1 there. Nope.
Nothing.
And then I'll do the Lamprey bites on Mr. Pitt. 6 attacks, needing 4s and 3s.
Not too bad. Probably about average.
And 2 wounds, which will do D3.
Wounds. Okay. So, and this is not a 1. This is. So Brad Pitt has a 5 up. He fails both.
D3.
Oh, just a second.
So that's 5 wounds.
5 wounds off Brad, so not bad going there. It's taken him down quite a bit. Okay, so now I have just a couple of plague monks that are in range of the chariot. So we're going to start off with them. So we've got looking for 4s, re-rolling 1s, and that's 3 hits. We need in 4s again, and 6s on one rend. Nothing. Oh no, just the 1. So we got 1 more wound on that chariot.
Good.
He makes a save. So we'll go straight onto the Plague Furnace now. So the Plague Furnace has D6 attacks. Just the 1. And it is 2s to hit, because it's at full strength. It hits. And it is 3s to wound. Which it wounds. So that one is just standard. So you get your standard save from that.
What's it do?
And this is just 1 damage. No,
Wounds.
so it takes another wound. So it's down to
2 wounds.
2 wounds. And then we have the Rusty Wheels, which is 3 attacks. This is hitting on 4s. 2. And this wounds on 3s. 2 wounds. This doesn't have a rend, but it is D3 for each one. So both get through, so it's dead anyway, so it goes down. So not bad going for the Skaven. They've hit through hard. Now we'll have to wait and see now what happens. Going to have some battle shock tests, which is definitely going to decimate, particularly some of the Skaven units. The clan rats are going to take a real hefty damage from that. And obviously Brad Pitt did take some damage in the centre, but all in all pretty good. We've done quite a bit of damage, but the numbers have severely come down. So Chris is absolutely still in this game, but I will take quite a few points from this round. So in the battle shock, I lost 5 guys from the end unit. I lost 2 from the big, was 30-man unit. No brimstones were lost from battle shock, and over the far side I passed my battle shock with these guys. So not too bad result. We'll have to wait and see now what Chaos can do in their round 2. So again, this just shows how powerful this particular loadout for Tzeentch are. So even with the massive damage that I caused, they still managed with their different shenanigans to get another 3 dice in there and improve the results. So we've got a 6 in there, we've got two 4s and a 2. So not bad going, pretty good start. And then Chris will go into his hero phase and see whether he can come up with some more dangerous stuff to kind of pull him out of this this predicament that he's found himself in. So start of the hero phase, the changeling is going to use his trickery to try and remove Spinetail from my objective. So he is using 2 of his dice to guarantee the cast. It is a cast of 8. So he needs that to get off, and he's going to use that to guarantee that spell is going to come off. He now needs to roll to see how many mortal wounds this is going to do. Now Spinetail has 5 wounds, so on a 5 he'll clear them off. 4, so Spinetail is down to 1 wound, which is interesting because still opportunity that potentially Changeling can run in now and maybe finish him off. But interesting things, it's going to be quite close to see whether he can, because that's worth quite a lot of points. So we're in the movement phase. The general, he's come flying over the top of Mr. Pitt, and he is going to do his like kind of slashing attack. He's got an attack where he can, if he goes over something in the movement phase, he can try and bring it down the way through. Now he's already lost more wounds from a arcane bolt from the Lord of Change. So he's actually only down to 3 wounds. So this does do D3 mortal wounds.
On a 4-up.
On a 4-up. So we'll see whether we see how we get on.
Yes.
So it does. So how many?
5, 6, just 1. So
just the 1 wound. So he's down to 2 wounds. Now obviously the thing to always bear in mind with a hell pet is they can come back to life. So we'll be hoping for that in a minute when he does take his final wound. But we'll come back after the rest of the movement. Okay, so we're in the shooting phase now, and we're going to start off with this Exalted Flamer. So he is going to shoot through the clan rats into Mr. Pitt, see whether he can bring him down. It's not a great start.
No, need 3s.
He needs 3s now.
Just 1 is not good.
Just the 1. Have a 5-up save. Which I fail. He is down to 1 wound.
Does D3.
Does D3.
Still just down
So
to 1
still
wound.
just 1. So he's down to 1 wound. So there's 1 wound left. Okay, so rest of the shooting. So you're going to start off with the flamer from the thing. And what is this? What's the thing on it?
It's the flame bombardment. So it's 4s, 3s, -2 does
-3, is it?
Yeah, it would.
-2. Sorry, -2. Did you say?
Yes.
The end. So I've got a 6-up save. So if we make a 6-up, then we're all going to be laughing. Oh, so he does die. He goes down, unfortunately. But that does mean that all of the Destiny dice are gone. They're all gone.
Unless.
Oh, he does get a chance to try and regenerate them now. So we'll do that on camera for you now. See whether he can regenerate them. So the first one doesn't get it back. Second one doesn't get it back. So all the dice are now gone. So now after that, the Soul Grinder is going to use his Harvester Cannon now. And that's going to go into Brad Pitt with his 1 wound left. It's 1 shot. Needing
so
5.
4s and 3s.
Needing 4s.
No.
Nothing at all. No dice to burn on that either. So he survives a little bit longer. So we're now going to go into the next chariot. The chariot next to him is going to shoot into him. Okay, so it's not bad. And 1 cock there. So
3 saves.
3 saves. Okay. So Brett has a 5-up save, so we'll see how we get on with this. So needing 3 5s, not going to happen. So now we'll see what happens. Does he die? So guys, let's see what happens as potentially he dies. So what we need is a 5 or 6. So we'll have a 6, please.
Yes.
And that is the result that Chris wants, because that means he just dies and doesn't cause any damage to anything close by. If I'd roll a 3 to a 4, sorry, 3 or 4, then he would have taken D3 damage off everything close by. He's not managed to do that. He has just gone down, and that's a big unit down for the Skaven. So next up is the chariot that's just lost a wound over here, going into the clan rats that are by them. Not hitting very well. Just the 2 hits.
3 wounds. 2 wounds.
And 2 wounds. Looking for 5s. No, not making these saves at the moment. There's 2 go down.
Only 2.
Just 2 wounds.
Just D3.
So next up, Lord of Change is going to shoot into the clan rats.
Which is 2.
Okay, so he gets 2d6 shots.
Better.
It's not too bad at all. Above average.
So 3s and 3s. That's not great though.
No, not brilliant. Weighs itself out and these 3s again. We'll take that. Absolutely take that. So
3 wounds.
3 wounds. Anything at all to it?
No.
Just standard.
Yeah.
So we'll see whether we can survive. We need to make some of these 5-up saves to stop the battle shock being too brutal. And we don't. There's 3 more die. So one more little bit of shooting. The Brimstone Horrors, which apparently are awful. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, they are bad.
They're pretty bad. They're going to try and shoot into, I'm guessing, some Plague Monks.
So they have 2 attacks each. It's 5s to hit and 5s to wound. 12 hit range. So they'll all be in range. 8 of dice. It's going to be 24 attacks.
You get 2 shots each.
Yeah.
It's not bad going. I don't think, you're saying they're bad. I'm actually thinking they're not that bad after all.
Well,
so he needs,
for 40 points.
So he needs 5s now to hit.
So
and that's
1,
not
2,
awesome.
3.
But now he needs 6.
I'm going to roll these again because it's 24 attacks.
Oh, so we've got some more hits. That was only half.
3.
It's 3 so far.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I need 5s again.
6s, you said. No, it's 5s, is it?
Yeah,
you were downplaying these guys. They're actually not too bad at all.
6 is close combat. Well, they did 1 wound, yeah.
So 1 wound, and closest guy, him, maybe. So here we go. So we'll take a 6-up. No, 1 dice. So that's the end of shooting. So some damage done there, not too bad. The big thing to go down was to help it without regenerating. That's quite brutal for me, and some more chipping away to make that battle shock test really difficult for me not to lose whole units. So now we'll go into the assault phase. What do you want to kick off with?
The chariot into these guys.
Okay, so you're going to charge into them then?
Guaranteed. Yep.
Yep, so 6 inches. He comes crashing in.
So I can move up. Yeah, I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, so he's going to try and potentially do damage to both units. Now he's going to come in here. So this is the problem playing with Chris. This is why these games are so damn long. You can't make damn decisions. Okay, so now the Lord of Change is going to try and charge in.
5.
Probably not enough. Okay, so he's going to come this way, so he will definitely get in amongst these guys, which is fine. He's falling into my trap. So we're going to go into combat. Chris is going to go first. His assault. He's going to start off with the Soul Grinder. He's not going to start off with the Soul Grinder. And again, decisions is not his strong point, guys. I do apologise. I'm playing with amateurs here. So no, he's going to go with the Chariot. And he's going to go Chariot into the smaller unit of Clan Rats.
5s and 3s. Nothing.
So nothing to start off with.
No, it's 5s and 5s.
Nothing again.
And then 6 attacks being 4s and 3s.
It's a bit better. Is that right?
3 wounds.
3 wounds, okay. So we'll take some dice here. And again, I can't make one of these. I can't make a 5-up to save my life. So 3 more go down. Right, okay, so the Clan Rats, we've got 11 potential attacks. So we're going to have 4s and 4s is what we're looking for. 11 dice, I like it. That's normally what hits with a Flying Hive Tyrant, so I like the number. We'll go with it. Here we go, looking for those 4s. And I'll tell you what, That
Good.
is pretty good. Unfortunately, what will probably happen now is it will average out because I need more 4s again. So if we can get a nice big handful, he is on a 3-up save, so I'm unlikely to do too much damage, but if I can take a couple more wounds off him, it takes his punch down a little bit. So let's see what we can do. 4s we need. That's not bad again.
Yeah.
Not bad again. So we're looking for 5 wounds off you there. So I'd like, if possible, a couple of fails would be really tasty. At least a couple, maybe 3 if you're feeling really generous. I'll take that. That's 2 wounds down, and that should take him off the threshold, so he should be a little less stingy in combat, we believe. Okay, so the Lord of Change is now going to try and clear out the clan rats. He's going to start off with
The Staff of Zine, which is 3 attacks, 4s to hit, 2 hits.
not bad going.
It is 2s to wounds.
Tasty.
1 wound. It has no rend, it does 2 damage.
Okay, so again, can we make a 5-up? Come on. No, we can't. Another 1. So 2 damage to 2 more die.
Curved Beak and Wicked Talons. 4s and 3s.
Okay, it's a good start. 3 hits.
3 wounds. And this one's rend -1, and it's also 2 damage.
Okay, so how many? 3?
Yep.
Okay, we're looking for 6s now. Just the 1.
So that means 6 in total from there.
Okay, is that it from him?
That's it from here.
Okay, so that only actually leaves me with 1 little Skaven clan rat over there fighting against these 3. As I said, he's fallen into my trap. I'm not worried about that at all. But then over here we have 6 clan rats that are going to again try and chip a little bit more off the soul grinder. So I've got 6 attacks, and I'm going to need 4s. That's not awesome. And then we're going to need 4s again. Just the 1. So 1 3-up save. He makes it. And then next up. Right, so now the soul grinder is going to try and deal with the bigger unit of the 2 remaining clan rats. What have we got to start off with? He has lost a wound, so he's lost an attack, we certainly reckon.
On the piston driven legs. So it'll be 5 attacks, 4 hit, 3 to wound.
Okay, it's a bit better for me, just 2.
2 wounds,
2
it's
wounds,
-1 rend.
Okay, and what damage is that?
Just 1.
Just 1. Okay, so 6s. 1 dies.
Now we've got the Warp Metal Blade, which is 2 attacks, 4 hit, 3 to wound, 2 hits.
Nice.
Very nice. That's rend, -2, and does 3 damage. So that's going to be 6 dead.
Wow, so that's 6 clan rats dead. There's nothing I can do about that. That'll be 6 down, so that's 7 in all from that.
Yep, and now it's the Claw.
In with a claw, 1 attack.
Claw, 4 and 3. Hits.
Gets the hit.
Oh, it's the 6 of the wounds.
I think really you should be rolling it again. It's not in the tray. They were the rules. Did you not hear that, guys? They were the rules.
Yeah, what about... I'm going to dignify that as well.
So that actually came out, because that was D6 wounds from that one, so it was 11 in total. So 11 clan rats bite the dust. It's pretty brutal stuff, guys. Okay, so after a bit of them removing, we just have a few small rats left. And then we have the chariot. The general's chariot is going to go into the small unit of clan rats. They've already lost 6, so they're in trouble as it is with that battle shock. He's going to see whether he can put the nail in the coffin and see if he can take them out.
So, attacking with the Staff of Change, 4 to hit, 3 to wounds. Doesn't hit.
Good start, we like that.
The Lamprey Bites, the same old Lamprey Bites.
These are always the good one.
4s and 3s.
Okay. It's pretty good.
Take that.
It's pretty good. And then 3s. Need a handful of 2s here.
3 wounds.
3 wounds, okay. So this is when we really could do with some good saves here. We need 5s. Come on. Just 1. So 2 die. And that
will be enough to give me the objective.
We think that will be enough,
yeah.
because where my battle shock is, that will probably kill the unit, I think, won't it?
Minimum 2 more will die, yeah.
Which will not get you enough to get the objective. If only 2 die, it won't.
Well, I'll have 1, 2,
Oh, because
3.
this guy's going to be in range as well.
Yeah, 6
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so he will take that definitely with the battle shock, so that'll be good for him. And that's the end of your assaults. Yeah. So we'll go into the battle shocks. So guys, we just worked it out, and because of the battle shocks, there's nothing I can do. So both the 2 clan rat units are going to die. So this one, because I just can't you know, they can't make a low enough one, so both these units will go down. So that's bad news for me, but obviously it's all going to depend on the next roll, because of course when these guys sort of get up speed, there's not really like anything can do to stop them. So we'll see what happens now. We're going to remove the guys, we'll tally up points, and we'll come back to you with the all important roll. Okay, so when we've tallied it up, because the changeling's holding that, which gets him 4 points, he's managed to clear all of my rats off the objectives. Still need to move them off out of the way, but he's cleared all of them off, both the objectives and his brimstones are holding that objective down there. He actually takes a lead, it swings back to give him a 12-10 win so far as we go into the next round. So we've got an all important roll now. Again, well, we thought it was pivotal last time. It definitely was pivotal, but this will potentially see me off for the win, I would have thought, because he'll be able to really kind of score the points and put more damage on, or otherwise I will probably go on the rampage again. So it's very, very important for him. We're going to have this roll off for you guys now. We'll see what happens. Let's go for it.
How many times do you think I've beaten you on these roll-offs?
You're due a win, I think. I must be up, I think. Let's go for it.
3. Bang again.
When you need to be on target, guys, you're always on target. Buy the dice. Available at my Patreon account. Okay, guys, so end of movement. I've come along here, wrapping around. We're not too sure whether... we kind of will have a little look at it. So when you charge in, whether you have to... consolidate into combat the full distance. We'll have a little look in a bit and kind of come back to you, but basically if that is the case, then obviously I'll take 2 objectives. If not, I'll probably be pulled off this one, but should easily take that one when I kill his guys. So that's that. Then the clan rats, the plague monks over here have wrapped round here to go in against these 2 units. So that's how that's worked. And yeah, we're ready to pounce. So we're ready to kind of do some damage as we go into no shooting, so we'll go straight into the assault phase. Okay, so after charges, so these guys have wrapped around here. We just checked it, so I don't need to go a full distance, so they're going to take that objective, and they've obviously looped around to make sure they're going to take that as well. Everyone's got a good roll, got into combat, no problem at all. They've wrapped around here as well to make sure that they are going to put, you know, potentially hold that one as well. We've got the chieftain has gone in against the changeling, see how he can get on here, and the plague furnace crashed in there. We're hoping for a bit of a longer charge, but I didn't do very well there because I wanted to put the plague furnace onto both those units as well, so that's not going to happen. But we'll go straight into the assault. So we'll start off as always onto the plague furnace. He's just going to get the 1, you can only get the soul grinder, he's only in range of that. So I'm going to go 4 up, which I get, so that's d6 mortal wounds to the soul grinder. And just the 1. I needed it the other way, well, not the other way around wouldn't have helped, but that really wouldn't have helped. But we'll take 1 wound off the soul grinder, which is not too bad. And now I've got to decide what I want to attack. So the plague monks are going to start off. They're going to try and see if we can put some damage into the soul grinder. 8 of them are in. This is starting off with the blades. We're needing 4s. Rerolling 1s. So reroll these over here. So it's 1 more converted, 2 more, 1 more converted there. Take out the 2s and the 3s. And we'll put in the 2 4s. Not too bad, not too bad. Now we need 4s. Now the trick here, guys, is if we need to get the 5s, sorry, we need to get the 6s to make it plus -1 rend, which will help quite a lot. So here we go, looking for 4s. And that's good, that's really good, because there's 3 rends in there, and they're also not too bad. So let's take them out, and there we go. So we've got 3 rends and 4 normal.
Okay, so 3 rends of 4 plus.
So 4 plus first of all.
It's 1.
1 through.
And 4 normal?
4 normal.
It's 3 plus.
Yeah.
You rolled hot. Just 1 wound.
Nice. And that's, then I have the 8 from the just from the staffs. So we'll roll them off now. And 6, 7, 8. So we'll do that. See how we get on. 4s again. It's not very good. Now we need 5s. Nothing. So he survives. He does well. He does very well, and he fluffed a little bit on that. So that's interesting. He is quite reduced, so he's going to be not quite as potent as hitting me back. But we'll see now as Chris gets an opportunity to fight back. So Soul Grinder's going to turn around. They're going to try and deal with the furnace that's come crashing in.
You've got to do the claw first of all, haven't you?
Going to do the claw, are you?
Yeah.
Go for it.
4s and 3s.
It's not a good start. No dice for you to re-roll, my friend.
Now we will go onto the blade. 2 attacks, 4 to hit, 3 to wound.
Here we go.
I'd like to see these. Come on. Only 1. I'd really like to see this for 3 damage. Yep. Okay. So it's -2 rend, but it does 3 damage.
Okay, so just a 6. So only got which is the 1, was
it?
it?
Up normally, isn't it?
I don't know. 4 up on the plate.
Isn't that just for shooting?
No, that's not an artillery piece. It's just a 4 up save.
Right.
So 6 up.
6 up.
Nope. So it loses 3.
Loses and 3 now the piston-driven legs.
Okay.
So it's 5 attacks now. 4s to hit, 3 to wound.
Nice. We'll take that. We'll take that.
Nothing.
Definitely take that. Nothing at all.
So just 3 wounds down.
That's it. So now we'll see what happens when we'll go into our next attack. So we'll leave him. Obviously there's no point in me going straight back into him. He can wait. And we'll come crashing through on him in a second. But first of all, we've got the small task of just killing off these little brimstone horrors. So we'll come back. We won't roll it on camera. There's loads and loads of attacks, and I should probably just take them off. But we'll come back in a second. So after the brimstone got cleared out, which was obviously going to happen, we're now going to go on to the changeling versus the chieftain. They're actually pretty well matched up. We've both worked it out. Neither of them are going to kill each other. He's going to use my weapon because the changeling's got a special rule where he can use the attacker's weapon. So he's going to use my rusty blade. So he's got 4 attacks. He needs 3s.
Oh, that's worked
he's
out
hit
well.
with all 4 of them, and he's 3s again to wound.
Boom!
So he's
pretty good.
He's on target there. So he's got 3 through. Now I've got a 4 up save with the chieftain. This doesn't have a rend, so I've just got a 4 up save. And I make 1, so he takes 2 wounds off me. And now I might as well strike him back because nothing else is going to come in on my furnace. So we'll just go straight into mine. So we're looking for freeze. And the chieftain snitched his sword back, and he's now going to see if he can do some damage. So we're looking freeze again. Yeah. So just a 2. So we'll see whether they can go toe to toe.
5 ups. He comes off better on this one.
Yeah, he does.
There's a win there.
So now the furnace is going to strike back. I'm reduced slightly bit, so I'm not hitting on 2s anymore. So we'll see how many attacks he gets with the what is it? The wheels and spikes. So it's D6 attacks. That's tasty. We like that. So 6 attacks, and now we need 3s. Not so good. Just the 2 get through. We need 3s again. No rend on this one. Just the 1. So 1 save, 3 up.
Good.
Makes it like a boss. Now we have 3 attacks from the priest with his warp bladed staff. So we need 4s to hit. We get 2. Nice. And we need 3s to wound. Just the 1. So this is no rend. So a 3 up again.
Good.
Makes it again, no problem at all. He's bossing it, is that Soul Grinder. And that is all of my assault. So not too bad, they got away with that quite well. I will take my objectives, so I'm going to take his objective. So I'll take 4 there, and I will take this objective as well for 1 point, and I'll take this objective here for 2 points.
So that's 7.
So that's 7, so not too bad.
Each.
Okay, so end of movement for Zinch. They obviously just got 1 dice back. It was a 6, so it's not bad, but no extra dice now. Everything's kind of closed around, so I don't have much left now. So obviously I've just got the plague monks, they do die really quickly. They don't have a save, so they go down extremely quickly. They do have the advantage, they hit hard, but they do die very quickly. So we'll see what happens there. Everything's surrounding them to make sure that we can cause some trouble. Psychic powers, magic powers, not particularly anything to write home about, apart from the Mystic's Shield was put back up on the Soul Grinder. Everything else is kind of around where it is. And well, this guy did his bolt on the Chieftain, taking another 2 wounds off him. So he take 3 wounds. In fact, he's down to just 1 wound, 2 wounds. He's down to 1 wound left. So everything's surrounding, going in for the kill now. So we'll see what happens. We'll go straight into the shooting phase. What's going to shoot first?
He moved over there, so he's going to do on a 4+, does D3 wounds.
Okay, just going to fly over the top.
It is D3 wounds. So 2 of them die.
Okay. Take those 2 off there.
Then we will go into the Soul Grinder. He's going to use his Harvester Cannon, which is going to be, he's taken 6 wounds, so that's still in the bracket for D6 shots. And the Chieftain, so it's 3 shots.
Okay.
And it's 4 to hit, 3 to wound. 1 hit.
1 hit.
1 wound, it's -1 rend.
Okay, so we're looking for a 5. No, Chieftain goes down.
Now
next up, he'll go on to his other weapon.
he'll do the Flame Bombardment at the cart thing, which hits, 3 to wound, it wounds, it's -2 rend and it's 3 damage.
Okay, so I have a 6-up save, which I don't make, 3 damage.
Yep.
So he's now taken 6 damage.
Yep. Now shooting, it is going to be the first chariot and just the regular guys.
Yep.
So that's 4s and 3s. 1, 2, 3.
Not bad, not bad.
And 2 there. D3s, but you get.
Don't get no save. Don't get any save.
So D3. So that's 3 of them.
3 of them. Okay. Yeah, I don't have anyone towing cover, so we're just gonna take off 2 more of these. 2 of them.
3 of them.
3 of them. Wow. Okay. 3 of them go down. This is what hurts because they do go down quickly now.
The same thing with the other chariot.
Okay. Just gonna go into the second chariot now.
1, 2,
Again, some good hitting when he really needs to.
3s.
Pretty good.
Also pretty good.
3 more dead. And these are D3. Ooh.
So it's 5.
5 guys. So again, pretty brutal. These guys are falling down quickly now. 5 go down. 1, and let's take another double here. So Sting is very much coming out of these plague monks. What always happened, they need to kill whatever they touch, because they went round that bit and they had to sacrifice some to go over here for the objective. They are suffering a little bit from not taking down that Soul Grinder. And next up,
the Exalted Flamer.
Exalted Flamer. Is he in range?
Yeah, 18 inches.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
No. Stop cheating, we'll allow you. Fine.
Look at all those lovely 1,000 sun
See, here
signs.
they come.
3.
Same again. Again, rolling hot.
Good.
Rolling really hot. And these D3 again.
Better and better, yeah. That's,
ugh. So that would be that unit dead.
Yeah.
So that is that unit dead. So with that unit dead, the Lord of Change is now going back into the plague furnace.
Rod of Sorcery, it's going to be 2d6 attacks and then 3s and 3s, so it's 9 attacks.
Not bad, not bad. About average. Okay.
Not bad.
Not too bad.
And that's very good. So that's 4 wounds, but you get your 4 up.
Okay. So we've got 4 saves here. We make them all. Okay.
I'll try and charge with him.
So we've got another charge going on. So the chariot's going to charge in here onto the plague monks.
Yep.
Go for the charge.
7. Gonna be close.
Might just be in. We'll have to see. So it was just out in the end, just an inch out. Now the Soul Grinder is going to turn around to face the furnace to see whether he can do some damage. He's a little bit neutered, but he's still dangerous, the Soul Grinder. So we'll see what damage he can do. Okay, so Soul Grinder steps up. What's he starting with?
It's got to be the claw.
He's going to start with a Mighty Claw, needing a 4.
Yep, come on.
No, guess a 1.
Piston driven legs, it's going to be 5 attacks now instead of 6. So that is 4 and 3s.
It's good. All hit.
Better.
All hit.
Almost. And this are 3s.
2 misses.
2 wounds. And it's -1 rend, 1 damage.
Okay, so 5s. So 1 more wound down.
And then finally, the War Metal Blade.
Okay.
Which is 4 to hit and 3 to wound. I'm going to make one of them hit with the Destiny
6.
dice.
Okay.
And roll to hit for the other. No. Now I just need a 3 to wound. Yay!
Okay.
So it's -2 rend and it does 3 damage.
Okay, so I need 6. Which I don't get. It's another 3. So he's taken 4 from this combat. He was 6 before. So he's got 3 wounds left. Go for it. And so now he's going to see whether he can try and gain that Destiny dice back.
Yay!
He does get it back as well.
What have we got?
Okay. What is it going to be? See what we got.
A 2.
2. So not terrible. Well, it is terrible to be fair, but it could be worse. In fact, could it be worse? I don't know. Probably not. Anyway, so now we'll see what damage. I'm seriously neutered. Not very many wounds left, so we'll just check the profile and we'll come back. So we have just kind of had a look, and actually I should have done the sensor at the beginning of the combat phase, and he has just taken 3 wounds from it. So he would have been a little less effective in combat, but probably not too much different. So we're not going to re-roll it back. We're just going to leave it as that. So I forgot it, so it's one of those things. I don't think it would have made a huge difference.
Actually, I mean, I'd have 1 less attack with the piston legs.
So it probably wouldn't have made much difference at all, to be fair. So we won't worry about that too much. So we'll go into, I have now suffered 10 plus wounds. So I need 5s to hit now. So D6 first of all, so D6 attacks. So I get 4 attacks. I need 5s. So just get the 1. And I need a 3 to wound, which I get. So 1 3 up, which he makes. And then I have 3 attacks from the priest, needing 4s to hit. I get 1, and then needing 3s to wound. Get it, and this is no rend. Makes it again like a boss, and that would have been D3 damage. So it's proving the Mystic Shield is really holding up and is doing the job. So in the end, he did lose. He just lost the 3 wounds from the sensor, but I only have 2 wounds left there. So brutal stuff. Okay, so we'll now do the all-important roll. I've won it twice. It will definitely be game over if Chris gets it this time. Probably will be anyway now. I think now I've lost pretty much everything but 1 really juicy unit, and will probably mean I'll struggle. I am going to take those points probably if I get this turn, but it's yeah, I think it's going to be tricky. We've just worked it out, and Chris leads by 1. What are we saying? 17 to 16.
17 to 18. Yeah.
17 to 18. Demons lead at the moment. So we're going to the all important roll. So what you got?
It's the 6. Oh.
It's the 6. That is. You
That's
see that?
3 6s in a row.
That is 3 6s in a row when it counts. Buy these dice. They're available on Patreon. But on the re-roll, he does take it on the 5.
Great on the first one, not so good in the
well, he doesn't. It's only,
dice.
I said I needed to roll a different dice. It can only roll 1 6 in a row. But yeah, okay, guys. This probably will be a short turn. We'll probably, to be realistic, probably come back at the end of the turn because I think this is going to be pretty short and sharp. Okay, guys. So you can probably notice that not much has moved. We just kind of worked it out, and to be fair, it's just really not worth playing another turn. It's not worth putting you guys through it because it's a foregone conclusion. So all that's going to happen the next turn, we just kind of worked it out. So the chariots are all going to come in range. As we said, the monks, they just cannot survive shooting. They need to be on the offensive. Now, even being in cover, some of them, it's only +1. It's only a 6-up save. It's not enough for them to survive the amount of shooting they're going to put in. But on top of that, he will definitely take the objective. So he's going to take the objective over there. He will, I expect him to clear me off that anyway, and he'll take that objective, he'll almost certainly take that objective with his warlord, and he'll assault me and kill what's left, I should think. So it'll almost certainly be a table in. So rather than go through that, it's late, we've had a good game, it's been absolutely awesome, to and fro-ing. Really couldn't really call out big turns. I thought, you know, it certainly was going to go Skaven, then the Demons hung on in there. So yeah, really good game, very, very entertaining. Hope you've enjoyed it. Until the next video, I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.